Check, check. Check, check. What's the what's the word? What you heard? Cicero mode here. What's the word? What you heard? Cicero mode here for vlog 195. What's up, YouTube? YouTube, what's up? Trying this out again. Still don't like how it does that, but we gonna rock with it. YouTube. I'll try to keep an eye on this chat here. That's what I keep forgetting. So gonna do some dry runs. And then I'm gonna get my YouTube or my Instagram going as well. Sure, I'll get over there. Yep. And we'll try to leave the YouTube up as what does this do? No, that ain't gonna work. We'll do that. 1 second. YT. Okay, one other thing I need to check. Boom. All right. Test run time. What's the word? What you heard? Cicero mode here for vlog 195. This week, I've got a DJ set at Weds Rufus on Wednesday. Also, creating some new reels to display some new skills and dragon battles. We got to talk about it. Episode 4. Want to hear about it? Keep watching. So that's pretty solid. Think we're ready? We're going to get this rolling. Ooh. Incoming. What's the word? What you heard? Cicero mode here for vlog 195. This week, I've got a DJ set at Where's Rufus on Wednesday. Also, creating some new reels to display some new skills and dragon battles. We got to talk about it. Got to redo that too. That one was pretty solid. I probably should have kept it. But that's all part of the game. Error message again on YouTube. Just for my own thing. It's always talking about the keyframe frequency. That's what I got to figure out. Anybody that knows how to adjust keyframe frequency, I'm going through OBS into Instagram or into YouTube on, an Instagram story style setup. So give me some hints, man. Trying to step up these YouTube lives. All right, we're going to do it, though. What's the word? What you heard? Cicero mode here for vlog 195. This week, I've got a DJ set at Where's Rufus on Wednesday. Also, creating some new reels to showcase some new skills. And we got dragon battles to talk about. Episode 4. Want to hear about it? Keep watching. That's right, Cicero mode, creative, music, and media. What I like to create, produce, and promote. And what I talk about on these vlogs every Monday for 195 Mondays in a row. Got both of his streams rolling. Got my Instagram up. Got my YouTube over here as well. So we're gonna do this thing, man. I'm liking the setup today. We're gonna try to knock this out on a very rainy, sketchy day here in Tyler, Texas, man. Downtown Tyler here at the Innovation Pipeline. Doing it as I do. And yeah, man, we've got Hurricane. What is it? Beryl. It's a weird name, but a hurricane hit down in South Texas, going through the Caribbean, other areas over the weekend. And we're getting to feel it now up here in Northeast Texas. So got in here at the pipeline. There's a lot of rain outside. I didn't feel like running back out to get my my other LED light. So I'm doing some creative lighting here for sure. But yeah, we in here, man. Got to do the vlog. Vlog 195. We're going to get into it. Give me 1 second. But yes, another week, another Monday. I'm turning a little bit more on my YouTube, but we cool. Another vlog, another Monday. Hopefully everybody's week is going well. We got to open out the way, so I'll show y'all my secret. No, I pretty much just had to turn my other computer over here, the Mac they got in here at the lab, into a LED background screen, making it kind of do some color shading. So gotta make it work, man. But yeah, back in here, man. Vlog 195. YouTube is up, so shout out to YouTube. I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the chat over here today for sure, and Instagram. But yeah, this week has been interesting for me. Like I said, I was off over the last weekend. I think I talked a little bit about that. So I was really working on some content. Well, I was off over the weekend, but I did have a 4th of July event. I guess I can talk about that briefly here at the Cascades in Tyler. Went out and played just the midday 4th of July pool party, man. You know what it is. 4th of July was going on. So got that contracted out with CMB Music and just went out and had a good time, played some vibes, some pool party vibes. It was very hot. I've got to go ahead and invest in a new, smaller fan. You know, I don't do a lot of pool parties, a lot of outside events, outside of some of the school kind of fundraiser events I usually do. So hadn't been doing just, poolside events, and definitely could feel the heat. Was able to get through things, but I'm like, yeah, I got to get me a new fan to just have going directly at my mixer, at my laptop. But yeah, they're at the Cascades. I've helped them out before. Not as much with their holiday pool parties, but plenty of different weddings, other events I've helped out with there. So familiar with it. Not as much with the kind of the pool setup, which is like a separate area from kind of the main reception hall. But got there, got set up, and they wanted to have a few games going on kind of throughout the 3-hour set for some of the younger kids, younger people there at the pool, as well as some things for the adults. So a lot of things that I've done at other pool parties in the past is they have the soda throws, where they throw, sodas in. Kids can go in and grab as many as they can and drink them. And we're still adjusting this IG a bit. Let me do that. I don't know. But y'all know my name on IG. You know what it is. So yeah, have a little bit of that, but then also have the adult version of that, which is throwing some adult beverages in the pool, letting the adults go in, grab those. So did that, the drink toss. We also did the hula hoop contest with some of the younger kids there, as well as red light, green light, and chicken fights. So all these were kind of ideas that the coordinator there had on the fly for me. And, that happens from time to time. Depending on the event, even if you have, kind of a detailed talk beforehand of kind of what's going to work, you always got to be available and prepared to pivot. And, again, since I do a lot of those fundraiser events, I'm used to doing kind of some games with the kids. As hot as it was, you kind of got to get your breath, get prepped for it. And kind of where I was set up wasn't exactly at the pool. So I kind of had to recruit a few of the staff there at the Cascades to help out with that. But worked out well, did the games, played some pool party jams all midday there for the 4th of July, and then I was inside for the rest of the day. I'm sorry. I didn't do too much with the outside fireworks or any fireworks events. I was trying to link something up for kind of an evening 4th of July event, but I'm glad I didn't, because I was pretty spent after being out in the sun for, that 4.5 hours, give or take, including load in at the pool, doing the set, and then leaving. So that was kind of my only weekend event, and then, rolled just right into kind of 4th of July hangover type of, weekend as far as events. A lot of things were going on, but I was off. So again, like I talked about last week, really been using a lot of my time to prep some new content, get some feedback. Last week I talked about reaching out to some of my clients for the year, getting some feedback, kind of have a new questionnaire form that I've worked up that I'm getting, sent out and getting some feedback from. So I'll continue to do that. And if I haven't sent you one and you're one of my clients, one of my brides, anything like that, or you just want to fill one out for your boy, let me know. Hit me up on the DMs and I can send you that just kind of wedding or DJ live sound feedback form that I've got worked on. So working on that, getting some feedback here at the midpoint of the year, tying in some new things that I want to work on. And yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but still on the DJ end, our mobile DJ for this week. Just got the DJ set at Where's Rufus, holding it down every other Wednesday, still there. So gonna be doing this one solo dolo, just me in the mix, but then got some really cool things we're working on for the next two Wednesdays that I'm there at Where's Rufus coming up. So be on the lookout. I'll have a new flyer for this Wednesday. Always is 21 and up, no cover, starting about 8:30. Playing a little bit of everything, open format, doing some mashups, requests, taking those. So doing my thing. But we'll be doing that this week, and then we're going to be following it up with some very cool, very interesting events for the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be some collaborations, some kind of some return home type events. So I'm very excited about that. You know, Rufus is usually a pretty chill vibe on Wednesdays, mixed bag, just whoever's kind of in that mood to get out, kill some of the midweek or the week energy there right in the middle, hump day. That's what we get. So be on the lookout, but I'll be in the mix this Wednesday. More information about upcoming events and just be there vibing, for this one. So check me out again. Where's Rufus on Wednesday? DJ set from yours truly, starting at 8:30. Besides that, though, like I said, working on some new reels, some new content ideas as I was sending out these kind of feedback questionnaire forms, looking through a lot of just my old detail sheets from who I worked with at certain events. You know, I'm pretty good in my brain with just like, putting a picture of a bride with who I worked with. And once I see, kind of some recap footage, then be like, oh yeah, so-and-so was shooting. This person was, obviously at this venue. So-and-so was a coordinator, and I can kind of just piece it back together. But, it's always good to just be going back through your contacts, all your information, a lot of the planning forms from the venue, to make sure, you just can kind of refresh yourself with who you worked with, but it's a good way to find content that you might have missed. Again, I'm at the halfway point of the year, so I've been wanting to put together some new content as well as sending out this questionnaire form. I usually do like a year. I did last year, like a year in review, put together like, the short video of all my content I did for mobile DJing and then just other events, other client sound services. So want to start doing that. But as I was doing it, searching around on the TikTok, I came across a really cool video from the homie Vic Harmon. So shout out to Vic Harmon Films. Really nice and really sweet video that he made. This is from a wedding that I did in May, I believe. I want to get that right. But yeah, it was in May. And pretty much the rundown obviously is I'm a DJ. I'm there to do music. But also there's always the live sound element that's almost just as crucial for these weddings. Okay. As well as what is all this? What is going on? I done hit something crazy. All right. Well, this is great. What is this? I don't know. But we're still going over here on IG. Hopefully my YouTube didn't get shut off. Man, I'm just trying to go to IG and something buck wild is going on here. We're still good with that. But anyway, so yes, was really just trying to figure out, what is this? All right. Give me a second, guys. All right, IG. Never a dull moment. Let me get these headphones real quick. All right, whatever this is saying. All right, well, the vlog is getting switched up with whatever this is going on, but we're going to just keep rolling. But yes, anyway, I was talking about a very cool video from, man, always, never a dull moment around here. Just gonna have to do that. Hopefully we're still rolling. Yes, hopefully so. I don't know if all that played in the background of YouTube, but hey, something crazy. Shout out to streaming on the fly. But yes, we're back live. Got to do it live. So anyway, I got a very cool video that I found on TikTok from Vic Harmon Films. That's what I was trying to go look up before everything went haywire here. Instagram. Let me try it again. Hope it doesn't freak out on me again. Vic Harmon Films, and like again, sound. That's where we were. Back adjusted. Always doing it on the fly up in here. Sound is very important. So as well as providing music, I'm also providing microphones for the ceremony for the minister. Microphone, obviously, for myself as I'm doing different. As I'm doing all my different announcements throughout. But yeah, also I'm also kind of juggling the aspect of sound engineering, making sure I got everything sounding right on whichever room I'm in, whichever venue. So another important portion that involves mics are, of course, our toasts, right? So I always have been, try to have my wireless mic prepped. There's kind of a little rundown that I go through with the couple, with the client, anybody that's doing speeches, ministers if there's a prayer, just on, basic microphone etiquette. Don't cover up the top of the mic, hold the mic there in the middle. Don't shove it down your throat, but also, make sure you keep it close to your mouth and you're speaking directly into it. If you get to talking, with the mic or just get real low down here, it usually doesn't pick up depending on the venue. And depending on the mic, but my main thing is just make sure you keep that mic high and tight. You're speaking directly into the front of it, as you turn, and just kind of don't let it wander down low. That's what a lot of people do. But anyway, I'm saying all of this kind of on the fly when I'm getting ready for toast or speeches at weddings, and it can get very, very tedious, a little bit of nerve-wracking, not necessarily for me, but for the people that are doing toast. Lots of times it's best man, maid of honor, matron of honor, and, they're kind of in their chill out mode, or they're really tense. They're really worried about the toast. A lot of times a maid of honor, best man will come up right when they come into the reception like, hey, I'm doing a toast later. How are we going to do that? And I'm just like, hey, whenever it's time, I'll come over to you. We'll talk through it. But that's when you can tell, people are really a little concerned about the toast. But anyway, I'm rambling, getting back on point here. But for this wedding, we had quite a few, people in the wedding party. I believe maybe some of the parents doing the toast. But as well as that, we also had a very young member, the flower girl, I believe, of the wedding that was going to do a toast. So I did my usual thing, do my rundown, tell everybody exactly what to do, get to the little younger girl. She was, I believe, the last one in our toast. So I'm like, hey, don't worry, just keep the mic here close. And I could tell she had kind of memorized what she was going to say. But anyway, she nailed it. She did everything I said as far as, go ahead and speak directly into the mic, project if you can, and don't hold it too low. Just kind of keep it right here. And she did great. So for me, that was kind of the end of that experience. Glad it worked out. I just remember also telling Vic that, hey, that little girl nailed her speech, is what I remember telling him. So making sure that didn't pick up early. We're good. So yeah, she nailed it. So anyway, kept moving on, kept doing my thing throughout the rest of the event, and just got back to looking through some TikToks. I'd had Vic on my TikTok, and I just remembered that I wanted to again, like I was saying, as I'm going back through a lot of these brides, as I'm checking for sending out these feedback forms, same deal. I don't necessarily send out feedback to vendors. But I'm glad I was just going back through, checking all my vendors, making sure I've got everybody added, because I already had Vic Harmon on my TikTok, worked with him for years, but he ended up just posting a video of this little girl doing this amazing speech at this wedding at the Claremore from a few months ago, and it was great. Worked with Vic plenty of times. the way he usually works is he has his own recorder for the toast. So every videographer, photographer, kind of has their own way of doing it. But usually he just wants to be able to plug into my booth or my 1/4 inch out of my mixing board. And that way he can, clean up the sound, edit it as he needs on his end. So for me, a lot of times when I'm setting up with these videographers, we sound check everything. I plug in, boom, we're good. You good? It sounds good. And, that's usually about the end I hear of it. I follow a lot of them, but I don't necessarily always follow up to see exactly how the toast sounded, or sometimes my intros. I got to get better about that too. But in this case, just happened to come across Vic's amazing little video of this young girl doing her toast. So I've shared that on my reel. I've tagged the bride, Lindsay, from that as well. So great time to go back and find some content that I didn't even realize existed, and get to hear my mic. My mic sounded nice, through the actual sound system. I'm listening to it in the moment. I'm listening to the live, so I've got echo. I'm, still there manning the board, bringing up gain, anything else if we need compression, things like that for each person, because everybody talks differently into the mic, right? But yeah, it sounds good to hear kind of what Vic did in post-production to boost it up, to make it sound even, and just make an amazing piece of content. So shout out again to Vic Harmon Films. Make sure y'all follow him on Instagram. It's Vic, V-I-C, Harmon, H-A-R-M-O-N Films. Does great work. Again, worked with him for years. And just another reminder, you got to reach out to your vendor friends, man. So I'm going to be reaching out to him, obviously telling him thanks again personally, but also just reaching out to some other vendors, photographers, videographers that I worked with. As time passes, I definitely, with the vendors in that realm for content, I don't want to add any extra, pressure of, hey, where's all the content? I want to post it. You got to let those people work, get it to the client first. But that's why it's good to stay in contact, at least. So if they do come across something that's great that has you in it, hey, I just posted this. Or if you're staying up to what they got going, you'll be able to see it. So that's what happened in this case, and it worked out great. So I'll be trying to add that to my kind of year end or half year reel for weddings. But why I also was talking about reel to reel on here was because I've added some new reels that I want to do. Again, been really working the last few years on getting my mobile DJ business up and rolling, been able to handle all the odds and ends of that. Still doing production, made my lo-fi project, The Journeyman, last year. Obviously have love themes, some other instrumental tapes, but really trying to focus more on getting into, as I've mentioned, the world of sound design, music supervision, and music composition for media, TV, and film. So I've dabbled over the years as far as trying to get serious about it. I think right when I was really going out and working on my mobile DJ business was when I was kind of putting together some projects that work better for music licensing, and then kind of fell into a part of a hiccups of thinking that, I do a lot of sampling on my beats. So I need to recreate these, replay these, so I don't have to run into any issues with sample sound packs or sound banks that, I can't use, VSTs, all this stuff. So I kind of just put it to the side, still working on music here and there. But I don't know, new year, really wanting to focus more on that. A lot of the content I've made over the years has been focused more on, tying in the audio and the visual with me. Even if it was beats I was making, I got real heavy on making individual edits. So want to get back into more making those, but putting it out there more, man. I have the ability, years of music production, years of classical music training, to be able to call myself a producer and a composer. So been going back through a lot of my older beats, a lot of just soundscapes that I created years ago. I wanted to make a project called Soundscapes that was just more, drone ambient music, as opposed to what I guess came up on, or at first really thought I wanted to do, which was straight beats for rappers, So that became kind of the goal, the point, the thing that you're reaching for is to get these cosigns from whatever artist, or at least whatever artist you're working with, songs to get popularity, again, for the beat, for just the beat. But this day and age, there's so much more that goes along with things than just a beat, and that can get kind of daunting at times. But it's just time to go ahead and step right into that. And I'm trying to really work on kind of refocusing, rebranding the production end of CiceroMode to involve composition, scoring, film scoring, and video games as well. Something that I want to reach out to. So I've been watching a lot more content around the subject. Let's see if I can go over here to this website without everything freaking out again. Watching a lot of other content. You know, I've came across some really cool videos, some from Berkeley. I just want to shout out a few of these creators, some of the music I've been checking out. Yeah, the Berkeley Online, guy Michael Moore. There's a few other guys that I just watched. You know, just coming across some other great content that gives you some ideas, tips, and ideas about getting into music composition, man, or at least focusing on it more. And for me, let's see here, witty music, WHITTY music, chord progressions, new ideas. And for me, a lot of the times when I'd make those types of beats, I just, you know, let them, again, sit on the wayside. There's no rapper that's going to jump on this. So if I'm going to make an instrumental project down the road, I know where to go or who to reach out to. But I know that I'm going to have to make it on my own. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Don't reach out. Just make it, concept it, do it all yourself. But collaboration is key, right? So what I'm doing is going back through a lot of these older beats, finding the ones that could use some, you know, live musicians to come back in and play over them, add some live instrumentation, or some of the ideas that, you know, I usually end up naming beats based on, you know, like I think I've talked about on here, content plate, if I think it's something for bed music content. But anyway, showcasing that. So I'm working on a new page on my website where I can focus more on things that I have scored in the past. Beats are, you know, instrumental projects, sketches that I've made that I have put to video, whether it be edits, short films, you know, there's some commercials out there. And yeah, so I ended up uploading an old short film we did years ago, almost, I want to say 15 years ago. My brother and I repping old Patent Productions, Pat Pro, and The Country Drive was a project we did, wrote it, produced it. My brother shot it all himself. We edited it all ourselves. And I did a lot of the music, coming up with ideas for songs. My brother was doing production as well. So we just did everything ourselves, and also had kind of a little mixtape album, probably call it more of a mixtape. It was that era of mixtapes, even if it was a short film. But yeah, utilize that to get music where I featured some other guests, some other singers, a few people that are doing some bigger things these days. And we ended up putting the short film on like some other website. I can't even remember the name of it. I want to say like Open Films or something. But my brother was really big into looking at, you know, short film contests, all of those types of things. And so we ended up submitting to one, but it allowed, you know, pretty much the short film to be up on its site and stream through its servers for years. I mean, over 5 years at least. So if we did want to refer to it, we would just say, hey, go over to this link. It was live. But whatever happened to that amazing website, it fell apart, and then we just never re-uploaded the short film. So decided to go ahead and put it on YouTube. YouTube, if you're following me, CiceroMode. Also, the old Pat Pro page, Pat Pro Show. Follow that. Going to be uploading and finishing some details on The Country Drive. A very great project near and dear to my heart that I worked on with my big brother, Mitchell Patton. Still doing his thing up in Grand Prairie, working at Grand Prairie ISD. So yeah, I was talking with him and was like, man, I think I'm going to go ahead and upload The Country Drive, as I want to add music supervision, composition, scoring to things that I can do, to working on projects, whether it's volunteer, freelance, or whatever it is. I've got to put it out there, man. Put it in their face, as they say. So that's what I'm going to be doing. We'll put The Country Drive up. I really just want to have one page that has all of the media, you know, creative music and media. So I want to have one page that's really focused on, again, the combination of original music with clients' videos or any videos that I've worked on, and just have a complete reel that's dedicated to that. So be on the lookout for that. Time that in with reels. Also, I want to do a podcast reel. So I'm in the process of putting together all my old podcasts that I personally produced on, starred in, podcasts that I did editing, recording work for a few other clients. and just putting all these reels out there, man. Not so much as an Instagram reel or a YouTube short, but in a quick, digestible format on these platforms and on my website for people to be able to quickly go and say, oh, this guy says he's doing some music supervision, or that, he'd like to get into that and help us out with some. Let's see what he's worked on. Has he scored a short film? Has he, created an entire album around a short film? Has he created sequencing, sound effects, editing for a short film with audio? Yeah, I've done all that. It's been a while, but it still counts. And I think these days I'm able to look back at some of those earlier projects where it was definitely just figuring things out, doing it to do it, kind of idle hands, or I know me and my brother were just really trying to get out and about and get some things done at that time. So it's great to look back and realize, hey, these things all played a part into where you are today, and, to showcase them a bit more. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be up on Pat Pro Show YouTube page, but I'll definitely share some links on Instagram and on my main YouTube page, CiceroMode page. And that, again, is called The Country Drive, man. Some great music on there from where I was really still learning some of this kind of more music score production. And, as I got more into DJing, fell back on it, got more into making beats, shorter form for that song format, but always wanted to get back to more movie scoring, music for content, TV, and film. And so we're going to be putting together more reels and putting it out there a little bit more. So if you're interested in collaborating, if you do video work, if you have anything that needs some bed music, I'm also going to be reaching out to a lot of my content creators, vendors that I do weddings with, because they're always making content, and putting together just a playlist of streaming music that you can add to your reels, to your YouTube shorts, to your TikToks, because all of these songs are available on streaming services. Just to remind people of some other things that I do. These aren't really paid services. This is just, hey, if you need some chill lo-fi music to go in the background of one of your pieces of content, why not shout your boy out if there's anything that you like or that you've heard on my page or on this playlist, and throw something in. Or I've got my love theme projects that I've worked on over the years, partially because I was going to so many weddings. I would always like to make some music that kind of reflected that, I think. But a lot of my lo-fi vibes work for content for vendors, venues, photographers, videographers. So I'm going to be reaching back out and letting them know, hey, I DJ, but I also produce, also do music for video and, content for your social platforms, your social media. So if you feel like it, go ahead and shout your boy out, add some of his music. It's just as easy as typing in lo-fi beat or whatever you type in to get that when you're looking through, your Instagram and adding music. So that's what we're trying to do, man. Reels on reels, adding new reels to showcase new skills and, old skills, really just putting those skills to the forefront a little bit more moving forward for the rest of 2024. All right, I've got to speed up. We're down to our last topic. We've got time, and as always, it's another week. It's Monday, which means yesterday was House of the Dragon, episode 4. So we're going to do a quick rundown of this. I had a pretty cool little rundown site here pulled up. Hopefully this is it, and it's not going to freak out again. But yeah, we're going to get into this, man. House of the Dragon. Let me do that again because I hit the mic. House of the Dragon, episode 4, recap/review. Let's get it. House of the Dragon, episode 4, season 2, recap, review. Let's go. So this episode kicked it up, man. We finally got something action-wise, I guess, to talk about. I guess really I don't want to say there was no action in the previous ones, but last week's episode was definitely, I think, the weakest of this season so far, but it was a lot of putting the pieces together, I think, for what we had unfold in this episode, which was dragon battles. Finally, we got some. This show is called House of the Dragon. The other Game of Thrones would kind of tease you with the dragon, but they did it pretty well, I think, to where the dragons are so epic, you don't want to overuse them. And that was really the main way that Game of Thrones was shown. But when they'd show one, in flight or just go down in the little dungeon or whatnot, you're like, man, don't mess with them. These things are serious. These are weapons of mass destruction for back in the day. But For this season, with House of the Dragon, we've seen a lot of dragons in flight. In the first season, we saw a lot of dragons in flight. We got dragon on dragon battles popping off for this one. But earlier on in the episode, the title I think reflects that. I think it's the gold and black or something, talking of the dragons in the battles. But we start off with our man Damon. We get all these names. Damon is still at Hall, and he's having crazy dreams still. All right, about his past, how he treated Rhaenyra coming up, and really just mistakes he's made. He has a weird conversation with, I guess, a woman that's supposed to be a witch, or she's seen as maybe she's the one that's behind all of this that's going on. She kind of plays it off as, oh, this castle's been haunted for decades or hundreds of years, and I'm just in here hanging out. Then she's kind of doing a lot of these weird rituals and makes him drink a strange drink, and then he wakes up. So not really sure what went on. A lot of kind of fever dream, haunted house, haunted mansion stuff still going on with Hall, which I guess is the whole point. But he kind of snaps out of all that to hear that, hey, it's going down. We've had Sir Christian Cole, J.J. Redick out here doing what he's doing, still going out, taking over small kingdoms and recruiting more people to come to Hall to take us down, is what they kind of think, I think, at that point. So they don't really know this upgraded plan that has been put into place. So we kind of get that scene. Then we jump over to Dragonstone, I believe, where Rhaenyra is still not back yet. She was obviously gone doing her plea with Alicent from last episode. So she's, whatever, in transit, coming back to Dragonstone. The big character, obviously, of this episode, and I always say her name kind of wrong. You got Rhaenyra and what's her name? Rhaelyn? I'll get to it in a minute. But anyway, Corlys's wife, the prince or the princess that wasn't, I guess was that what they called her earlier? But Rhaena. There we go. Is I saying that right? Rhaenyra and Rhaena. Yes, Rhaenys. So she's kind of in charge since Rhaenyra is not back, and her and Corlys kind of gotta say, everybody chill out a bit. All right, let Rhaenyra do what she's doing in silence. Let Rhaena cook as kind of our in charge in the interim. But they're kind of over it. So as they continue to argue, as they continue to try to figure things out, there's some in family drama with Rhaena and Corlys. As I guess, who knows when she figured it out, but she's pieced together that Corlys got some kids on the side. So she goes down and meets one of them and kind of just hints at, I know this is going on. Treat your kids that ain't by me. Treat them good. So that was kind of strange. But get that scene, and then we go to the Red Keep. The High Towers, what are they up to? And Aegon is there. He's pissed off, as usual, because now Sir Christian Cole has taken over these other kingdoms, these new areas, but instead of heading to Harrenhal, he wants to go the other way. Instead of going west, I believe he's going east to a smaller area, and I'm going to have to find that because that's the most important name of the damn episode, the battle. Rook's Rest. Yes, the castle of Rook's Rest. So he wants to head that way. Aegon is like, what's up with that plan? Y'all didn't tell me nothing about this. Aemond is just like, hey, we just figured that out on the side. We don't need you to go, but we got this, So Aegon is not very happy about this. I still want to give, and I got to give him the shout outs now, I think, to the actor Aegon. I really like how he is portrayed a king that never really wanted to be it, but still having that spoiled, entitled kind of brat syndrome that you would expect somebody in his position to have. But, at times you still feel for him. WSG, what's up? What's up? I got over here, man. I don't be looking at my YouTube chat. Talking a little House of the Dragon. A little bit of spoilers incoming if you haven't seen the episode. I didn't say spoiler. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You know what it is. So, House of Dragon, episode 4, talking about that. Hope your day is going well. As you said, have a great day. Thank you. So yeah, man. Biggest thing is see, I'm not used to doing shout outs on YouTube. I gotta get back into where I was at. Uh Back over here. Yes, Aemon has usurped somewhat Aegon, gone around his back, and him and Christian Cole have put together this plan. They showed them kind of scheming behind closed doors earlier on in the season. So Aegon is pretty pissed. And he's pissed and his mama's pissed at the same time. She's realizing that this idea of what she thought her husband said on his deathbed might not have been true. She's trying to go back and figure out what this prince that's promised thing is and how in the wrong she is. But I don't know, man. Again, Alicent is a weird character. She's kind of going about it the wrong way. Instead of, I guess, coming out and trying to, I don't know who there is to confront about it, I guess. Never mind. But, just trying to be like, hey, I was wrong. I think now that she just kind of lost control of everything, she's just kind of being very cynical and just, letting things fall apart. So she's doing her, drinking some special tea. Y'all know there's some tea that she needs because her and JJ Redick been hanging out. So she's doing that. I think she also was drinking some regular alcohol too. But when Aegon comes to her, she can tell that he's upset. Instead of kind of comforting him, which she usually hasn't been very good at earlier. I remember slapping him up last season, and just like, get it together to be the king. But yeah, instead of comforting him, she just kind of is like, don't worry about it. Just do what you're supposed to do, which is nothing. So again, just kind of spreading this idea that all hope is lost. We don't get to control nothing, and who cares? It's still kind of her stance on things. But Aegon definitely takes it to heart. Again, I really like how the actor is portrayed being torn of, is he just a figurehead? Does he have any say? Should he have any say? But as he sits around, he decides, damn it, I'm about to make something happen. So as we kind of get the plan in action, everything is looking towards Rook's Rest. You got J.J. Cole, Christian Cole, got all of his troops heading that way. He's picked up new recruits from these other small houses that they've taken over, or I guess kind of flipped to their side. So they're heading that way. As that word gets back to Dragonstone, they put together a counter plan, which is, hey, we gonna get our dragons out there, and we already know Christian Cole was in some woods. They kind of have an idea where he's at. And again, if he pops out in the day, he gonna get burned up, man. We got to bring out the dragons. So what dragon do we send? Is the next big question. There's a little bit of a debate. Rhaenyra is back now at Dragonstone when they're having this talk. And it just really comes down to, we've got Rhaenyra, who's the queen. Do we put her in jeopardy with her dragon, which is Araxis, I want to say. These names of these dragons, damn it. But do we want to put her in danger? Her son has a dragon, as well as Daemon's, daughter from the first wife that was out there and kind of spotted him firsthand. But I think that dragon's a little too small to really do much. So Rhaena, she decides to go ahead and volunteer. We saw her dragon, Meleys, right? Meleys? Yes, we saw Meleys last season getting a pop off, talk that noise in Aegon's face in the crypt and fly out. So that was really cool, showing that, a dragon obviously knows how to maneuver, can do all of that and not, just be out of control. So yeah, it's an easy persuasion. She's like, hey, I've got the most experience. I'm the most experienced dragon rider. Let me go out there and flame these fools up if they actually try to, go out in the open during the day, or, just so we can counteract this with a dragon fight. So we've got that dragon in tow. And the things that we don't know from the other side is that Aemon and Christian Cole have set up a plan to bring out the bad boy, but he's not a guy, if I'm all right? It is a female, Vhagar, which is massive, man. First of all, I think that's the coolest name of any of the dragons in the show, Vhagar. Really dope to say. Even with it being a female, it makes you think it's a male, I think, with the name Vhagar, but massive, amazing to see it in action every time. So we get kind of this tease as the troops, everybody's making their way to the battlefield. that we see Vhagar lying and hiding. That was a little tricky though, because I'm like, as big as Vhagar is, how did it stealthily get into the woods and or Reyna and Melee's not be able to see like a damn dragon imprint in the trees because it's so big. But anyway, technicality. Vhagar is hiding in the trees, hiding and waiting, for one of the dragons to pop up so they can take advantage, counter attack. As again they're moving their troops to take down this one castle, Rook's Rest. But in the meantime, Aegon done got a little drunk, and he says, "Man, screw it. I'm about to mount up, and I'm taking my dragon, Sunfire, into battle." We saw him flying around with him a little bit last year, but he wants to go all the way in and bring Sunfire out. So as Vhagar lies in hiding, Aegon shows up. So you're like, damn, here he comes. Even JJ Christian Cole Reddick, or whatever you want to call him, as I call him, JJ Reddick, is like, damn, this is going to screw up our plan. It puts the king in jeopardy here. This is stupid. But anyway, he has to try to hype his men up. Hey, guys, your king is here. Fight with honor. Fight with valor, this and that. But Aegon is here. So Aegon is here on his, and Vhagar is waiting and hiding. So we get it, man. We got two dragons going at it midair. Very cool to see. I don't think in any of the Game of Thrones there was any dragon on dragon fights. So this is really cool. They do a lot similar, I guess, to what chickens, where they're using their claws to kind of scrape at the midsection. So Melee's does what Melee's does, being more, I think, a little bit bigger and more experience, goes right for some areas there on Sunfire, Aegon's dragons midsection there. It's flaming. I guess the blood is hot, so it's like steaming and everything. Looks really cool. And Aegon realizes he don't know what he's doing. He can barely speak the language to instruct the dragon on what to do. And at that point, that's when Vhagar springs into action. He's like, all right, let me do something here. That is Aemon. And so Aegon is happy. He's like, thank the gods, my brother is here to help me. But he ain't here to help you. He gets up there and goes ahead and just flames him. I don't know, and I'm not sure still if Aemon is still not in control of Vhagar. Obviously that's what happened in the first season. Aemon out of control. What's up? What's up? House of the Dragon, episode 4. Spoiler alert. So yeah, not sure is Aemon in complete control of the dragon or if he did exactly what he wanted, but looks like at first glance, Aegon is killed and his dragon because again, Vhagar is so big, but Melee's is able to get out of the way, or at least I guess shield from the flames. So she's still in play as far as Reyna and her dragon, but Aegon after that hit falls into the damn trees. So we don't know. Looks like that should be the end of Aegon, which is pretty epic because he obviously is still the king, and we knew if he got in the battle that could throw things off. Same reason why they didn't want Rhaenyra going in on the other side. So the battle continues. We got still mid-air fights between these two, but even still, man, the size difference between Melee's and Vhagar is ridiculous. So you're like, this can't last very long. I don't know what we're going to do. But again, because she's so, I believe, skilled and experienced, she's able to actually get Vhagar down to the ground where he ends up stepping on half of his dude, or not half of them, but a lot of men of his own forces that he's kind of killing and whatnot. And Melee's has a chance to escape at this point. Reyna and Melee's could escape. At least Vhagar is injured. They've kind of messed him up in his middles too, doing that. Melee's is really good at doing the midsection scratching. So does that. And it seems like, okay, well, then I guess this will kind of be a stalemate. But I don't know. I kind of felt like when Reyna was saying she was going to go into battle, she knew the risk and she was willing to put it on the line. So as predicted, she turns back around to try to go back and fight to finish off Vhagar, to continue to harm him, whatever the plan was. And again, Vhagar is massive, but somehow knows how to jump out everywhere. He jumped out of last season out of the clouds to kill the little boy, and now he jumps from behind the castle to get a clean chomp on Melee's and sends her down, plummeting onto the castle. Explosion, fire, and that is the end of Melee's and Reyna. R.I.P. to a very cool combo. Shout out to Raina being down for the brothers. You feel me? And just, being a all about stand up lady. She got the crown kind of taken from her in her past. She's always been down with Rhaenyra. And I guess, again, in that vein, she's willing to help another lady, another woman, a princess that was promised, get the throne back. So, did it all, man. The greatest sacrifice. R.I.P. Melees, R.I.P. Rhaena. And there's going to be a lot of repercussions, I know, in Driftmark and from Corlys as he finds these things out, probably leaning into utilizing the sons that she at least kind of, recognized and was like, hey, I know you stepping out on me. Just use these dudes because they can fly too. Or maybe, they have the, I believe that's in the teaser, so hopefully I'm not spoiling more, but I believe one of these sons can also control a dragon. So again, man, huge dragon battle. And as expected, hundreds, thousands of men dead, here at this Rook's Rest. And we pretty much just end kind of on that. We get, I think, one more scene. Let me go down here to the end. We get kind of one more scene. Really just kind of summon things up. Sunfire, yes, we get the conclusion of what happened to Aegon. That's what we really get. Cole he got knocked unconscious, I think, by Vhagar falling down. So he's kind of looking through the destruction of dragon battle. Like we've said, when these things go at it, there's going to be a lot of blood. I believe that was Rhaenys that says that, right? Earlier in the season, she's like, hey, when you have a war between dragons, it's going to go bad. And, unfortunately, it went very, very bad for her and her dragon. But Christian Cole finally wanders into the woods to find Sunfire, and Aegon. Aemon kind of is there. He seems like he's either pulling his sword out to do something or putting it back up. I would assume it looks like he's about to pull it out. Cole calls him out. Hey, whoa, what you doing over there? And he puts his sword back in. So they don't really show it well. You can see that Sunfire is still like breathing and injured, and they don't really show. I didn't get a feeling of Aegon was breathing or not, but from what I've seen, it looks like both of them are going to maybe survive, be obviously in very dire situation as far as their health, but I think both are gonna make it through at least for a few more episodes here and see the fallout of another king being pretty much taken out and how that affects the war. Why Aemon even did this. Aegon obviously teased him in the last episode, has teased him a lot throughout his life. If the grand plan was this to take the throne, it could tie into kind of how Daemon, the same stuff that Daemon was plotting earlier, that dream he had about killing Rhaenyra. So it could be similar, and maybe that's where Daemon's going to have to bring out old long-necked dragon and figure out a way to take out Vhagar. But that's where we're kind of ended up, man, at the end of episode 4. How injured is Aegon and Sunfire? What does this do for Team Hightower? And what does this do for the Blacks as they now have to deal with losing a matriarch and their most experienced dragon rider out of everybody they got, and one of their dragons. So the Dragonstone crew, the Blacks, have the majority of the dragons. They have that advantage, but they just lost one. And again, very experienced. So we'll see what happens, man. We're getting ready for the next episode. Really, other odds and ends. I'm assuming they're just gonna have to put together new collaborations, or new people are gonna have to work together, new sides to try to just make it through this thing and to kind of even the odds again for the Blacks. And over there in Hightower land, they all over the place. This plan was crappy again by Christian Cole. Luckily, it kind of worked out because Vhagar is just better than both dragons. But again, they lose Aegon, or he's injured out of the commission. So who now takes control, or what figurehead is in control of things, or they just let him be the figurehead while he's injured? So I hope the actor gets to keep doing his thing, and we'll see. But House of the Dragon, episode 4, I'm going to give a B+. We're going back up. We got dragon battles. That's what I was looking for. House of the Dragon. So that really paid off. Great replayability. Go back. I'll probably rewatch those scenes. because it's just they're doing their thing, man. The CGI, the effects department, and just seeing these massive ancient beings flying through the air is really cool. So shout out to House of the Dragon for finally giving us the dragon battle. We got that in, and again, I will give it a B plus for episode 4. And that's going to wrap up the vlog for this week, man. Again, I'll be at Where's Rufus this Wednesday, DJ set, working on some new playlists. I've got the Cicerolist up as well on Spotify, but some playlists focusing more on music supervision, music licensing, and music for media content. So be on the lookout for that. If you need music, hit me up, DM me, let me know, and hopefully we can collab, do something, because I want to work more on that, work more in that realm. And yeah, man, another weekend with no weddings. I've got some interesting things I need to do to prep for a wedding coming up, and some new sound setups. So I'll be working on that. Talk about that next week. But that's going to do it for vlog 196. Again, man, The Country Drive, 14-year-old short film, scored, produced, and track listed, curated by your boy and my older brother, Mr. Mitchell Patton, on all the video short film we made years ago. Will be up very soon. I'll put some content up to recap that masterpiece from back in the day. And yeah, I'll be back here next Monday for vlog 196. So I hope you guys have a productive and great rest of your week. And I'll see y'all next Monday. Peace. All right, YouTube. We out.